So hello everybody, welcome back. This one is another story about nobody tells you this, and you remember how I keep telling you that we all prep wrong? Yeah. Now I'm a fan of someone. It's a woman, and she has proven me right and proven me wrong at the same time. So good for her. Love her, definitely. Support her, definitely. Um, Maybe you will even become a fan after I talk to you about her. So, having said that, grab your coffee, and definitely you are going to need notebooks so that you can write her name and research her. And oh yeah, yeah. So, having said that, if you wanted to share a coffee with me, you can do that in the link down below. Thank you very much. And I also have some books in Gomro, they're down below. And I have some other ways to help me out, besides, sharing the channel and maybe comment if you want to. And, I have a video about elementals, okay? In fact, in that video, some I think that someone mentioned that it was a new age kind of thing. It was a bad religion or whatever, and then I'm like, yeah. I'm sorry. How are you supposed to call these things? It's because sometimes we associate names with things that are just I don't know, somehow good or bad, or something to stay away from just because of the name. So no, I'm going to repeat this one for you, and you might want to watch the video on elementals, by the way. So elementals are basically energy, as in certain vibrations that we have that support life or support a system. So there are basically two types of elementals: the elementals of life, which means that they can be managed. Sometimes they can even be created and stuff like that. But yeah, you thinking that you control them? Yeah, no, that's not happening. The reason why you can't control it is because you don't owe the planet and you don't owe the universe. I think that only God, will probably be able to manage and control these things. But he probably won't do it because, elementals are there for a reason. The elementals that you will find in nature are basically, four, which are, even in everyone has met them. Is fire, water, obviously, earth, and you guessed it, air. Now, there are other elementals that support life and support systems. Those are human elementals. The human elementals, they have energy that you can that you can call kind of like a yin and yang or female male. The energy, when it's female, it does not mean that it is a woman or it is like an Eve thing and it is a sin kind of thing or whatever. No, it's not like that. It's just a way of saying that they complement each other and they're different. It's kind of like you pulling and pushing, yin and yang kind of thing, and whatever. So I described the human elementals, and I have described them kind of detailed in terms of why they're female and why they might be male, as in, why they might be pulling or pushy, or why they might be yin and yang, whatever you want to call it. And I have mentioned before that when you are dealing with any elemental, I don't care if it is human or life nature elemental thing, yeah, there are urgencies. I don't care how you look at it, they are urgencies. They will come into your life to tell you, I'm here, I don't care what else is in your plate. If you don't deal with me, you're dead. Yeah. Urgency, the definition of urgency is do or die kind of thing. It's not an emergency. An emergency is kind of like, okay, I have somebody that needs to go to a hospital. Okay, you can choose. You might need to hurry and all of that. Of course, time is an essence, but it's an emergency. That means that you can have somebody coming to you. You can you can choose how to deal with that. Urgencies? Oh no, urgencies, they choose you. They will throw everything at you, and you cannot choose how you're going to deal with them. You just have like it's like somebody throwing a rock at you, and it's going to be hit your head. You either move or you put something in there right now, or you're dead. If you're thinking about it or something, then you're dead, because that thing is going to just hit your head and probably kill you. So urgencies are bad. They will test everything, because most of the times when you're dealing with an urgency, you are getting out of it very likely, because otherwise you will not be here. But you're not going to probably have the same resources or the same anything. Anyone who has been through an earthquake, through a fire, through a flood, through a tornado or something like that, they know. you can't do anything. You basically try you need to try to manage it. So now, having said all of that, we are prepping. That means that we do the best we got with whatever we are thinking that it will be bad or whatever. So we are managing our resources. We're thinking in terms of emergencies, which means that we want to have choices and stuff like that. Yeah, all of that can go to hell. If there is an elemental involved. I have mentioned this before. If you're in your house, I don't care if your house has gold and has all the food that you have for 1 year, if it is winter, whatever. If your house is on fire and you don't have a fire extinguisher or whatever, you either get out of there or you're going to be burned. Period. It's like that. You don't have choices. Now, I have mentioned that the elementals will be different, because when there is a flood, you might be able to, swim. And I have mentioned even that women might be able to survive floods and things like that better than men because of the center of gravity and all of that. I have mentioned all of that. But the thing is that there are elementals that are just, since they are elementals, most of the times we don't think about them. And there is a thread on elementals that is even worse than the ones that we don't see, which are the ones that are poisoning the elementals. See, if there is poison in the elementals, as in, let's say that there is a fire nearby, so you know that you do not want to get near that fire. However, let's say that fire is not just your old, your normal, regular red kind of fire and all that. But this fire is, it's involving chemicals and sulfur and all kinds of things. Then you have an elemental that is now toxic, which is way worse, because now you're dealing with toxins and elementals. So those are unmanageable. Those are like nearly unmanageable. Those are going to like be, it's almost like a death sentence. Almost. They will push you away. In fact, they are so freaking bad when an elemental is toxic that it can destroy all life around it, all of it, and it's bad. So I have a question. How do you deal with that? And the answer is, I'm sorry, we don't. So this woman, that's her name, Kristen Megan. Yeah, that's her name. So this woman is telling everybody, especially the prepping community, that we are focusing our money and our resources on food and we get in the house, we securing fire extinguishers, whatever it is that we're going to be helping everything so that we don't deal with floods and fires and whatever. But we're not dealing with the most important elemental, which is, you guessed it, the one that will kill you in less than a minute. It's air. And here's the deal: lack of air will make you, will torture you, will make you want to beg, and everything. And air is one of those things that we are getting for free. But air is no longer air. Meaning, okay, we're destroying the forest and all of that. That is bad, and everybody knows that, and everybody is trying to fight that one. But she's not talking about that one. She's talking about the chemicals that they are being put in the chemtrails that are now being pushed even further. And now those chemicals that are in the air are becoming electrons in everywhere. And this means that we will soon have to wear masks and pay for oxygen. Now I have a question. If you have to pay for oxygen, how much will you be willing to pay? And also, if you have to pay for oxygen, then that severely limits everything that you do. And I do mean everything, because if you have to carry a tank, then that limits your movement, and that limits a lot of things. That's why, air has always been associated with freedom, because you can get it everywhere, even in the middle of a mountain, even in the middle of a cave. And sometimes air even will show you a way out. So if this thing continues, with the chemtrails and all of that, several things will happen. Number one, because we are filled with electrons and stuff like that, storms are going to be way bigger. Because I told you, any elemental that has a toxin, it will spread that toxin all over. If you have a fire that has chemicals on it, then you have contaminated air, and that contaminated air will contaminate the earth, and it also will contaminate the water. So whenever you have a toxin in any of the elementals, all the freaking elementals will be damaged. And not only that, but they will become an even bigger threat than before. So, do we want to continue on that path? Because even if you were to let's say, replenish all of the forest in 24 hours in the entire planet, you will still not be able to fix the problem about the chemtrails and about the elemental of air moving around with radiation, because that also is an issue, and all kinds of contaminated materials, from the sea, from the deserts, from the mountains, and from everywhere. So it doesn't matter if you are, in a place that it is clean. If the air is bringing, pathogens and stuff, then you are not getting out of that one. Because like I said, elementals, way bigger than you, way bigger than anything. The only thing that is not bigger than the elementals is God. All the other things, all the other living beings, all the other things, whatever it is, yeah, they're small. They're nothing. If you're dealing with an elemental, you better respect them, and you better know what are you going to do about them. And elementals that we are messing with, yeah, like I said, I don't need to tell you that if an elemental is going to take you down, it's not going to be pretty, and very likely they're not going to fail. Because they are bigger than everything, because they are the basics of life. How do you destroy life? Yeah, you can't. Life will destroy itself by elementals. That's how bad it is. So this woman is proving that we have more allergies because of air. She is proving that we are having all kinds of things, including, metal poisoning in our bodies. We are getting a lot of radiation poisoning and everything because of the chemicals that are basic aluminum and stuff. So she's asking all the pilots in the entire planet to stop it. Because the thing is that the elemental of air is being damaged on the air, meaning through pilots. Meaning, I don't know how bad it is that you need money, but she keeps asking the pilots, do you need $10,000? I am guessing that all the rich people in the world will give you $100,000 if you if you just keep your mind straight and you stop polluting the freaking air. Because if rich people, they also need air. It's not like I said, elementals will not discriminate against anyone. If you have money or if you don't have money, it won't matter. You might be better prepared, yes, but they won't discriminate against you. It's not like air is going to say, okay, you are rich, so I'm giving you more. Oh no, not like that. Or water will be kind of like, oh yeah, you're rich, so I'm getting better for you. Not like that. So, if the pilots were to stop putting all of these chemicals in the air and stuff like that, then within several times, several months or something, we may be able to clear the air. If we are able to clear the air, our storms will be smaller, our temperature will be better, and we will be able to breathe better. And not only that, but we will not have asthma and allergies and stuff like that in the same amount that we do have them now. So, how much money are you using for preparing for food and everything else, and yet you are not buying oxygen tanks and you are not buying oxygen masks, right? I mean, how many of us are doing that? And I can tell you right now that oxygen masks and oxygen tanks are being sold here for $5,000 in my country, which is a very, very poor country. And people, the ones that can't afford it or whatever, sometimes they will sell their house or their car to get one cylinder of that thing. And that one cylinder will not save you for more than 6 hours. That is how bad this is. I'm going to repeat that math for you. You get a cylinder, a canister or container with oxygen. That thing, $5,000. How long will it last you? Well, between 6 and 12 hours. 24 tops if you have a very, very soft thing going on. But if you require oxygen, I'm guessing that is not very, very soft thing, that whatever it is that you're having. So, how much are we going to spend on air if we don't stop the freaking pilots that are doing this? And the pilots are doing it because they are being paid, let's say $4,000 per month or $10,000 per month. But you will have to pay $5,000 for the container, and then guess how much it is for the actual oxygen. By the way, If you have that container thing, you will need 2 per person, because you need 1 to use it, and then you need 1 to replace it, because you need to get it someplace, and then that to get it to the factory or whatever they are going to put the oxygen into that thing, and then you have to bring it back. So basically, you trying to get air is going to cost you $10,000, the upfront cost, and then the replacement cost. The replacement cost for that oxygen is going to be, depending upon the clinic, or depending upon, who is giving it to you. If you go to a clinic, it will cost you, here it goes, $1,000. Bare minimum. So, $2,000 if you have, the need for, 12 hours. So, if you need to pay it for, every 6 hours, then that is $4,000 daily. Oh yeah, 4,000. So, do you have $14,000 for 1 day of treatment when you don't have oxygen? Oh, and by the way, will you be willing to pay that money for your life, or your kid's life, or your father's life, or your daughter's life, or, I don't know, your wife, That is what's happening in most countries right now and everywhere, because of the pandemic situation, in which people are, not being able to breathe. So I have one question. What happens if everybody has that problem, because all of a suddenly the atmosphere is so freaking thick in certain areas, which, by the way, that also is happening in certain areas around the world. In certain areas around the world, you can look it up. They have so much smoke, and is your life expectancy in that place is 35 tops, and that is if you have the most amazing health that you can possibly think about. 35. After that, you're dead. Period. Oh, and by the way, when you're 35, you're going to die in a very, very slowly and painful way. Why? Because, like I said, no air. There is air, yes, but it is not clear, and it's not clean, and it's not even there. So, do we want that for the rest of the planet? I don't care if you're prepping for how much food you have and everything. Do you want to live up to 35? And by the way, you're going to be living miserably. And if you are a maniac about cleaning, I do not need to tell you that you're not going to be able to clean. Never. Ever. No matter what you do, you won't be able to clean. Because if you clean, 1 second later, it will be all dusty and filled with everything again. Look it up. You don't want that? Then get this girl that and give her support, whatever it is that she needs, in order for her to stop the pilots and to stop this from happening worldwide. We need her to do that. We need her. Quite frankly, I don't know how to deal with that problem. I just don't know. But I do know that if somebody doesn't fix this, and she's the first one that is doing that. Oh, by the way, she's asking for regulation. She's asking for help of the pilot. She's asking for education and support. Yeah, I can help her with the part about education and helping her, about that thing. But I can't help her with anything else because I don't know. I don't know anybody. And, yeah. So, if you're prepping and you are thinking that you're going to have air, then, and you want it to continue to like that, then get her and, I don't know. See, if all the preppers were to find her and do stuff with her, yeah, we are going to be able to manage all kinds of stupid things that are going on in our heads like wars and whatever, yeah, we can manage that. But without her and without her support, it won't matter whatever the hell you're preparing for, because we're going to be dead. And we're never going to be able to live more than 35. And that is proven, by the way. Proven by living examples that we already have in the planet. Oh, and by the way, if you're thinking, okay, we're going to fix that by trees, yeah, try growing trees and everything in situations like that. Good luck with that one. So better is to deal with the situation now that we still can get her. And thank you for everything.